As you know, the tension between the United States and Iran continue to shape a regional landscape. The role of middle power and regional actor has become more critical as ever. Countries like Azerbaijan, positioned as a crossroad of strategic alliances and sensitive borders, like navigating a delicate balance between global interest and national stability. At the same time, Pakistan is stepping forward with a diplomatic initiative attempting to act as a bridge between Washington and Tehran, an effort that could redefine regional dynamics to understand these how shifting realities are being viewed in Baku and what it means for border geopolitical order. I'm joined by a distinguished Azerbaijani journalist. She is just not a journalist. She is a lead documentary producer, author, and host of Inside Politics AC News and a political analyst, Anastasia. Thank you so very much, Anastasia. Azerbaijan has maintained a careful diplomatic balance between the ongoing US Iran conflict. How would you define Baku's strategic stance, especially given its security concerns along the Iranian border and its ties with the Western allies?
Hello, Mehreen. Thank you so much for having me and thank you for your question. Well, from the beginning, it's important to mention that Baku has consistently supported a swift and peaceful diplomatic resolution to the conflict in the Middle East. The consequences of this crisis are already being felt far beyond the region, affecting energy markets, trade routes, and wider geopolitical stability. So for Azerbaijan, the situation is especially sensitive, given the country's shared border with Iran. Any escalation there naturally raises legitimate security concerns here. And Azerbaijan's position has been clear, consistent. Even before the current confrontation intensified, Baku stated that it wouldn't allow its territory or airspace to be used against any third party. And this remains the key principle of Azerbaijani foreign policy, maintaining neutrality, while firmly protecting national sovereignty and territorial security. When tensions arose along the southern border, including an incident in which drones were launched toward Nakhchivan from the territory of Iran, Azerbaijan responded in a measured but firm manner. Notably, this came shortly after President Ilham Aliyev had visited the Iranian embassy in Baku to express condolence over the death of Iran's supreme leader, a gesture of respect that made the subsequent incident particularly regrettable and difficult to understand. Baku then called for a thorough and transparent investigation, an official apology, and clear assurance that such incident would not be repeated. At the same time, President Ilham Aliyev emphasized that Azerbaijan wouldn't be drawn into external confrontations, while making it clear that any direct threat to the country's sovereignty or security will be met with a decisive response. So, Azerbaijan has demonstrated a constructive humanitarian role also. Baku has provided assistance to Iran during difficult periods, and the Azerbaijani border has also served as an important route for evacuation, helping many people, including diplomats, to leave the area safely. We can conclude that Azerbaijan's strategic stance is balanced and pragmatic, support peace, avoid escalation, defend national interests, and contribute to regional stability wherever it's possible.
Given Azerbaijan's history, complex relationship with Iran, do you see the current conflict as reinforcing mistrust, or is there still space for, you can say, a pragmatic cooperation between Baku and Tehran?
The current conflict has certainly reinforced existing mistrust, but it hasn't eliminated the space for pragmatic engagement. Relations between two countries, between Azerbaijan and Iran, have long combined cooperation with periods of tension, and recent events have again reminded both sides how fragile that balance can be. From Azerbaijan's perspective, security concerns naturally come first, and any instability involving the shared border, military incidents, or attempts to pressure Baku politically will only deepen caution and strategic distrust. That's why Azerbaijan has become more attentive to sovereignty, border protection, and resilience against external risks. At the same time, geography creates its own logic. Iran remains an important neighboring state, and both countries share transport links, trade interests, energy routes, and broader regional responsibilities. Neither side benefits from permanent confrontation, especially at a time of wider regional volatility. For that reason, there is still room for practical cooperation in areas where the interests overlap, including transit border management, humanitarian matters, and regional connectivity. Azerbaijan's foreign policy traditionally separates strategic disagreements from functional cooperation where possible. So the relationship is best understood not as friendship or hostility, but as careful pragmatism shaped by mutual necessity. Trust may be limited, but dialogue and cooperation remain possible when they serve stability and national interests.
Pakistan has emerged as a mediator between the United States and Iran, as everyone knows. How is this role perceived in Azerbaijan's media and policy circle? Is Pakistan seen as a credible bridge or a strategic actor pursuing its own regional interest?
In Azerbaijan's media, Pakistan's role is generally viewed positively and with a degree of respect, absolutely. Pakistan is seen as one of the few countries able to maintain working channels with both Iran and the United States, while also enjoying credibility across the broader Muslim world. That gives Islamabad a certain diplomatic utility at a time when trusted intermediaries are limited. Recent reporting indicates that Pakistan has actively hosted and facilitated dialogue efforts between Washington and Tehran. So Pakistan is widely considered a credible bridge, but also a rational strategic actor pursuing legitimate national interests. These two realities are not contradictory. Even mediator has interests, whether security, prestige, economic stability, or regional influence, and Pakistan's motivations likely include preventing wider regional escalation, protecting Gulf-linked economies, and strengthening its international profile. That doesn't automatically undermine its credibility in many cases. It can increase commitment to successful diplomacy. There is also an important political dimension. Pakistan has consistently maintained strong ties with Azerbaijan and Turkey. So in Baku, there is a natural tendency to see Islamabad as a constructive and responsible regional player. So the overall perception in Azerbaijan will be this: Pakistan is acting both as a bridge and as a strategic actor, but in diplomacy, those roles often go together. If Islamabad can reduce tensions and keep channels open, it will be judged less by motives and more by results.
From Azerbaijan's perspective, does Pakistan mediation enhance regional stability in the border Asian corridor, or does it risk complicating alignment involving Turkey, the US, and Iran?
Well, from Azerbaijan's perspective, Pakistan mediation will largely be viewed as a contribution to regional stability rather than a source of new complications. For Baku, any diplomatic effort that lowers tensions between the United States and Iran is strategically valuable because conflict in the Middle East never remain confined to one geography. Their effects quickly spread into energy markets, transport routes, and the wider security environment that also affects the South Caucasus. Azerbaijan has a clear interest in predictability across the broader Eurasian corridor. The country positions itself as a key transit and connectivity hub linking East and West. So periods of escalation create risks for trade flows, investor confidence, and long-term infrastructure planning. If Pakistan can help reduce confrontation, that indirectly supports Azerbaijan's own economic and strategic priorities. Regarding alignment involving Turkey and the United States, Iran, Baku usually avoids zero-sum interpretations. Azerbaijan tends to welcome diplomatic initiatives that create balance rather than deepen polarization. Pakistan engagement would more likely be seen as a constructive role by a capable regional actor than as an attempt to redraw alliances. So overall, the Azerbaijani view would likely be practical if mediation reduces risks, protects connectivity, and encourages dialogue. It's beneficial, and outcomes matter more than geopolitical symbolism.
Okay, my another question is, how do Azerbaijani analysts view the long-term implementations of the conflict? Could it reshape regional power dynamic in a way that affects Azerbaijan's foreign
Azerbaijani
policies?
analysts generally view the long-term implications of these conflicts through the lens of strategic spillover rather than distance geopolitics. The main assessment is that a prolonged confrontation in the Middle East could gradually reshape regional power balances in ways that directly affect the South Caucasus, energy corridors, and of course Azerbaijan's diplomatic environment. First, if major regional actors emerge weakened or internally distracted, new space could open for middle powers and transit states. In that scenario, Azerbaijan could gain additional importance as a reliable energy supplier, transport hub, and politically stable partner connecting Europe with Central Asia. Second, the conflict may accelerate the global search for alternative trade and energy routes that would increase the relevance of the Middle Corridor, the Caspian connectivity, and the broader East-West logistics networks in which Azerbaijan already plays a central role. Many analysts therefore see opportunity alongside risks. And the third, if polarization between larger powers deepens, Azerbaijan may place even greater emphasis on its traditional multi-vector foreign policy, maintaining balanced relations with competing actors. Strategic autonomy could become even more valuable in a fragmented international system. So at the same time, also, there are clear risks: border insecurity, economic volatility, pressure from rival powers, and disruptions to nearby markets. That means Baku's priorities would likely remain consistent, but become sharper: national security, corridor resilience, energy diplomacy, and regional stability. Well, yes, many analysts will say this conflict could reshape regional dynamics, but not necessarily against Azerbaijan interests. If managed carefully, it may actually reinforce Baku's role as a balancing power and strategic connector in Eurasia.
Okay. Do you believe Baku is generally maintaining neutrality in the US-Iran tensions, or is there an implement strategic alignment taking shape behind the scene?
Well, from Azerbaijan's perspective, Baku is generally maintaining neutrality, but it's a deliberate and carefully managed neutrality, not a passivity. Azerbaijan has clearly defined its red lines. It does not allow its territory or airspace to be used against Iran or any other third party. It supports de escalation, and it avoids rhetoric that could inflame tensions. At the same time, it remains highly attentive to security risks along its southern border and ready to respond if necessary. That said, neutrality doesn't mean isolation. Azerbaijan maintains strong partnerships with Western countries, particularly in energy, transport, security cooperation, and these ties are structural and long-term, but they do not translate into alignment in this specific conflict. What we see is a balanced, multi-vector approach where Baku preserves working relations with Iran where necessary, while continuing to deepen cooperation with Western partners where interests coincide. This is not a hidden shift behind the scenes. It's a transparent strategy shaped by geography and national interests. In practical terms, Azerbaijan is not choosing sides. It's protecting strategic flexibility, and in a volatile environment, that flexibility is a key asset. that allows Baku to manage risks, maintain stability, and avoid being drawn into confrontation.
Okay, with the close ties, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Pakistan, does Islamabad's mediations strengthen this regional bloc, or could it introduce new diplomatic complexities, especially in regional to Western
Well,
partners?
from Azerbaijan's perspective, Pakistan's mediation is more likely to strengthen this trilateral partnership rather than to create complications. The relations between three countries, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Pakistan, is already based on strong political trust, mutual support, and increasing strategic coordination. This was reaffirmed during the recent trilateral meeting of the three leaders on the sidelines of the entire diplomacy forum, where the importance of deeper cooperation, regional stability, and joint responses to global challenges was clearly emphasized. It showed that this format is becoming more institutionalized and strategically relevant. In that context, Islamabad's mediation can enhance the bloc's diplomatic profile. If Pakistan helps reduce tensions between the United States and Iran, it contributes also to stability across a wider region that directly matters to all three countries, particularly regarding energy security, trade corridors, and geopolitical predictability. As for Western partners, Azerbaijan traditionally follows a balanced foreign policy. Close ties with Turkey and Pakistan do not exclude constructive engagement with Europe or the United States. Baku's partnerships are interest-based, and it's not a zero-sum. So overall, Pakistan's mediation would likely be seen in Azerbaijan as an added strategic advantage that strengthening an emerging regional alignment while remaining compatible with broader international relations.
Okay, so if tensions between the US and Iran continue or escalate, how do you see this reshaping Azerbaijan's foreign policy? Does it create new opportunities for influence, or you can say new risk for stability?
Well, if tensions between the United States and Iran continue or escalate, Azerbaijan will face a more demanding strategic environment, bringing both risks and opportunities. The first priority will remain security. As I already said, Azerbaijan shares a border with Iran, so any serious deterioration in relations between Washington and Tehran could have direct regional consequences, from instability near the border to pressure on transport routes, markets, and wider geopolitical predictability. For Baku, this is not a distant crisis. It affects the immediate neighborhood. At the same time, periods of uncertainty often increase the value of stable and reliable middle powers. Azerbaijan could become even more important as an energy supplier, a transit hub, and diplomatic actor, linking Central Asia, the Caspian region, the South Caucasus, and Europe. When traditional routes become vulnerable, alternative corridors gain greater significance. So in foreign policy terms, this would likely reinforce rather than transform Azerbaijan's priorities. Baku would place even greater emphasis on strategic neutrality, on border resilience, protecting of critical infrastructure, and diversified international partnerships. The objective will be clear: benefit from increased geopolitical relevance without being drawn into confrontation. So the answer is both. The crisis creates new opportunities for influence, but it also raises risks for stability. Azerbaijan's challenge will be to convert regional uncertainty into strategic advantage while preserving balance and internal security.
Okay, Nithya, thank you so very much for your time. Inshallah, see you soon with a new topic, with a new strength, and with a new, you can say, discussion. Hoping to see you. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.